on is really just this roster reshuffle, because like I said, Grant Senpai is going to be his first time actually as the captain of Team Australia. Normally we've seen in the past we've seen Bob as the team captain. In fact, he's actually been the captain for the past 4 years, but this year he is actually not even on the team, even despite him trying out. It's just over time he just seemed to have lost his interest in OWC, I'd like to say. But with this new lineup, I'm looking forward to great things from Australia.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. And yeah, a little bit about Argentina. Argentina's kind of shifted from what I saw when I commentated back in 2015. The roster's definitely shifted a lot. I mean, we have a lot of players that I recognize, like Serena. But Argentina, like you said earlier, was eliminated in groups last year, unfortunately, as Australia was as well. So both teams have actually received a lot of like souping up and a lot of improvements in terms of like their players. We have Kata, really good all-around player. He doesn't really like hitting that much, but like a lot of his top players are really good like no-mod hard rock maps, and he tends to prefer like jumpier hard rocks. We have Lubrin, another hidden hard rock player, likes maps that like reward very high aim control. He actually has a it's either an FC or a choke on cycle hit hidden hard rock, which is a pretty difficult map, especially at the start and end. The end especially, super hard to full combo. But even a slider break as is super good. And then you have a lot of tournament players that you'll see as well. Payne and Lexalia, to name two. Both won OTB 2018. Both very good at all-around play. Lexalia more preferent towards stream maps, able to keep like good aim control on longer hard rock maps. You have a lot of players who are able to like hold solid control on longer maps in Argentina. So I'm really excited to see like what they're capable of in that respect. And then, like I was mentioning earlier, you have Serena, a very older player, very good at speed, but also really good at aim control and hard rock. Like specifically stream maps are the very notable ones. And then like a notable play from Serena, in my opinion, is a hard rock on the another diff Freedom Dive. I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but Freedom Dive is high BPM, a hard rock FC on that is nothing short of pretty good. And we're going into the first warm-up pick on that note. I'm not sure what this is specifically, but it looks like a good time. You there, Beast? Okay. So we're in this first pick. I'm not really sure what the heck this is, but it's a good time.
Oh, my bad. My push to talk key was unbounded.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, that's why I'm not much of a fan of push to talk.
Yeah. Anyways, so going into this first warm-up, although we do tend to see a lot of really weird picks for warm-ups, what really matters is that, especially in OWC, teams' warm-up picks normally has like a representation or has some sort of deeper meaning into their culture for their country in general. So
deeper meaning. Let's be honest with ourselves, Beast. This is the place where meme picks are born. It's a beauty of art and love for just beautiful meme picks and maps.
Alright, I'm trying to at least hold a little bit of professionalism, Chippy.
But speaking of professionalism, Doomy, Ugeti, and Ami, 3 FCs on the side of Australia in this first pick. Nothing short of also the 3 FCs on Argentina's side. And there's not really much to say here, let's be honest with ourselves. It's warm-ups. Definitely fine to still talk about how the match is going to go in general. But I guess that segues into our next topic. What do you think is going to happen this match, Beast? I mean, I know we talked a lot about both teams. We definitely did our research on what each players are good at. What are you thinking about, like, in terms of who's going to do well and what?
Well, if we were looking at just the raw numbers in terms of just the rosters, Australia definitely does seem to have a huge advantage. I mean, in terms of just players alone, they have a lot of just stars on their team, tournament stars. We got Grand Senpai, who's a very, very good hidden DT player. Also doesn't underperform at AR8. He's just a good all around. They also have like really good players like Doomy, who just recently actually won GAF. along with actually me and Young. Ridiculous speed player and is just all around just an amazing tournament player. You also have Machine actually recently popped up out of nowhere, just performing out of his mind in recent tournaments. So Australia just like hands down, just on the raw like numbers, they're just performing out of their mind, and I just can't seem to fathom them underperforming in this tournament.
I love this song. Sorry to cut you off. I mean, you were at the end anyways, but holy moly. This, I don't know if you've watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, but this is the opening from the new season. I think you're watching it right now with your stream, if I remember you.
Actually, we just finished season 1 of it, so I'm still getting
Oh my gosh, you still have so much to go. It's such a good anime, but enough about the anime, more about the song. This is by Coda, which is one of my favorite like opening artists. He also made Bloody Stream, I think it's called. That's my favorite JoJo opening, Bloody Stream. It's such a good song. But Fighting Gold is closely behind. I love this song. And it looks like it's Grand Senpai's map as well.
That's very interesting. I myself haven't listened to really like any of the music tracks other than the ones from season 1, but it sounds like a banger of a tune, so I'm looking forward to it.
Oh my god, it's such a good opening. You're gonna enjoy season 5. Season 4 is a little bit of an eh for me. See, when you get to season 3, goodness gracious. It's a good time. Season 3 is amazing. I think you'll enjoy it a lot. But yeah,
I'm definitely looking forward to it.
But yeah, so this is gonna be the second one. I think we're just kind of sitting here waiting for it. Oh, and it's a TV size. I could have literally just read TV size, but I heard it. And yeah, we're gonna be going into it. Oh, the background! I love it.
That's just beautiful.
Beautiful. Fighting Australia. Yeah, he really prepared. Look at the difficulty name, Outback World Cup. He prepared it for this moment. Oh, goodness gracious. And yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, talking about how you think things are going to go, let's go to predictions. What's your prediction right now? What's the score going to be, and in whose favor?
Well, honestly, I am like super in favor of Australia. I just like am a huge fan of just their lineup in general right now. I just can't imagine them underperforming in this tournament. So I'm either at least hoping for or looking forward to seeing a 5-0 or even just a 5-1. Maybe give Argentina some.
Okay, all right. I can definitely see that. I'm of similar sentiment. I do think Australia is going to take this. I mean, they are the number 5 seed. They saw a lot of changes in their roster. You have amazing tournament players such as Doomy on their mix. I mean, Argentina does have tournament players themselves, 2 of which that won a tournament in this year. So, wow, this is a lot of sliders. So I'm definitely really... This is actually a really cool map. Very interesting. But I'm definitely of the similar sentiment. I do think Australia is going to take it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. Because Argentina, I personally believe they're pretty good in OC World Cups. Although they didn't make it past groups last year, they've always had a pretty good showing. And this year they have 2 people who won a tournament this year. So it's like, both sides have really good tournament players, but obviously Australia, the number 5 seed, very spook indeed for Argentina going into this. So I'm gonna say a 5-3 for Australia. I think Australia's gonna win, but I think Argentina's gonna give them a good running for their money. Because we've seen a lot of crazy matches in these past... I think that's a fail, by the way. We've seen a lot of crazy matches in this whole like OC World Cup day 1. I don't know if you I actually do remember you saying you were watching a bit of day 1. There was also the MP feed going through the Discord, and something interesting I saw is that Italy took 2 maps off of Poland, which is very crazy.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen that match.
Yeah, they took the Hidden Pendulum pick, the AR8, and I forget the other one, but one of them was Poland's picks too. It was crazy. Like, there's been some crazy things happening in this year's OC World Cup already in group stages. Usually in group stages, you see like a little bit of a... What's it called?
Upsets?
Yeah, you see like a lot of upsets, but you don't see them as early as groups.
Well, something to add on to that, you do have a good point. Group stages does tend to be the place where you see most of the upsets in tournaments. And on a recent match that actually happened, you were casting it. It was Netherlands versus USA. Netherlands actually managed to take 2 points off of USA, which I was so surprised off.
Yeah, I agree with you there, dude. Like I was just gonna segue into that actually. The Netherlands versus USA was nothing short of another example of close matches. Like you said, it was a 5-2, so it wasn't like the closest thing in the world. But like if you looked at the score count, you'd say, oh, that wasn't close. USA just won. They got a couple of points. But if you looked at the match, every single map was disgustingly close, actually, especially for such a team as United States. Netherlands stepped up and showed like how well they actually were capable of doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like there was that one map where all 8 players managed to get full combos. That was stellar performances from both sides.
I agree with you there, and it looks like we're going into banning phases, and it looks like Block Strikes is going to be banned already. And then DT2 is also going to be getting banned. Ooh, quick bans here. I like it. Usually teams take like a fat year to ban. so it's good to see these guys are prepared with those bans. But yeah, it's when you're in OSU World Cup, it's a do or die situation, and almost every team so far we've seen choose do over die. They haven't cracked under the pressure. They've pushed their limits, and they are capable of doing crazy, like pushing their boundaries that they normally hadn't like done before. So it's like when you saw Netherlands versus US, a lot of people were like, oh, this is gonna be a wash. Like USA is gonna beat them easy peasy, probably 5-0. Netherlands was like, nope, we came prepared and took 2 points and made every single match like 200k to 300k close. It was ridiculous. And another thing worth mentioning is this map is very, very consistency based. Every single time we usually just guess the amount of SSs that are going to be here. So starting off with this, not really that surprising, especially from from the team that chose it, because there are a lot of consistency based players in that team. So
I believe it was Argentina who picked it.
Yeah, I saw Payne type it. I just cleared my throat. I drank soda. I drank soda and it went down the wrong way, and I was like, oh no, not good. But yeah, this is a very consistency-based pick. Arguably, like one of the most consistency-based picks that we've seen in group stages in a while. It's pretty simple. A lot of players SS it. I know if you guys were watching the previous match that I commentated before, is USA had 4 FCs, each with 1/100. That was a pretty funny moment, but it's a very consistency-based pick. I could definitely see why they picked it. And getting into this, it's gonna kind of test who is able to overcome the nerves. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes the greatest of sense, but like, if you're able to overcome nerves, you're gonna full combo. If not, there is very big break potential in this map if you're nervous.
Well, something to add on to that, both teams seem to have prepared a lot for this match. I mean, it is OWC. It is the biggest OSU tournament, global tournament in the world, right? So obviously each team has done major preparations to really prepare for this tournament. You can see with the fast bans and the picks from each side, each team, I feel like, has done their research to make sure they know exactly what their team needs. They know their strengths, they know their weaknesses, and that's why they're going to choose accordingly to it.
And yeah, on that, we're going to be going right into the first pick. We're going to be seeing, like we were just mentioning earlier, a very big consistency pick for both teams. So it's going to be very scary, especially going into the last chorus. I would like to mention the last chorus of this is probably the deal breaker for a lot of teams. If this is like a 8-way FC kind of thing going on. So we'll be seeing. Right now, it's just the typical standard like 8-way FC on a consistency map, especially so early. It's really hard to talk about this until Kata breaks, which he's going to do, unfortunately for Argentina. He's going to be finding a break, and that's going to be unfortunate. But the team's definitely not out of it. It's a rather early break before a quarter of the map is even done. So definitely very solid. But Remy going to be breaking along with Kata again, and it's not looking good. Australia looking to shape up pretty well on this. This next part is kind of just free combo. For anyone that isn't nervous, just kind of simple stuff, small streams. Versus, we're gonna be going into a pretty long stream section that a player could easily find a break at, and we'll see if anyone does it here. But no, they're not. No players cracking under the pressure right there.
What I like to point out is the accuracy on just both teams in general. Blobby actually still holding an SS.
And that's the second difficult stream, and no players are going to be breaking. That's looking great for Australia. Almost looking like it's going to be it for the first point, honestly. I mean, it's an 800k lead, but Blobby, as I say that, is going to be finding a miss, unfortunately. We were just talking about him, and there he goes. And Quicata going to be missing as well again, and that's going to make it really difficult for, well, actually impossible for Argentina to make a comeback, unfortunately for them. And that's going to be the first map going to Australia, 3.7 mil to 3 mil. Ugti, I don't know how to... That guy, gonna be finding a miss at the end, unfortunately, but it's not gonna matter too much. Doomy and Grand Senpai, 99.7, 99.8 FCs. Very solid work from them. Unfortunately, no FCs with over 99 AC on the side of Argentina. We're going to be seeing a 98.86 coming out from Remy, but he did get a slider break, unfortunately. So
Australia coming in really strong for that first pick. That was Argentina's pick, actually. So Australia leading by 700,000 points. It really shows that they've come prepared for this.
Yeah, like we were mentioning earlier, Australia is the number 5 seed of this tournament. So it's scary. It's a very scary time. Like going from a team that doesn't make it past groups to being the 5th best team, like rank wise, is terrifying. And not really it's terrifying for the teams partaking, but for us it's exciting because you see a team go from 0 to heroes so quickly. Well, I mean, it could be a Cinderella story. We don't know exactly yet, but I'm thinking it's going to be a pretty big Cinderella story. But yeah, bans happened so quick that we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. Clock Strikes was the ban on the side of Australia. I can definitely see that. Argentina has a lot of Hard Rock players who like playing like longer Hard Rock maps. Granted, it isn't the longest Hard Rock map, but it's the longest out of what we have. Harlequin is more of a consistency pick, which would favor Australia, as we saw in that last one. And then Argentina banned Hane, which is a rather consistency-based DT pick, kind of favoring accuracy players a lot. But we're going to be going into the second pick. It's going to be Raywai Terrorism, a very alt-heavy map, also a very consistency-based map. And Beast, what do you think about this pick?
Well, the map itself seems to be very constant in terms of difficulty, so really we could be seeing breaks literally anywhere throughout the map. It only has like one slow section, you would say. It really only has one slow section towards the end, but for the most part the entire map is just constant in difficulty.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And the thing with alt maps, especially of this caliber, are like it is so easy to hyper focus on the alt patterns and just find slider breaks. Like most of the time, when I'm playing alt maps, that's the thing I break on the most is the sliders, because you're focusing on actually like trying to hit the alt patterns, making sure that you actually tap your key when you're hovering over. When you're not an alt player, it's a lot harder to do than it sounds. But you hyper focus on these patterns so much that you don't pay attention to the sliders, and the sliders in alt maps are usually very unforgiving. It's very easy to just kind of mess up and not focus on them, because a lot of the slider velocities of alt maps are rather fast.
Not to mention that this is still Score V2. I mean, most players are probably used to it by now, but the accuracy on the sliders are going to be much harder to get now that slider leniency has been removed.
Oh, that as well. I actually, that completely actually scraped my mind, and it's a good thing that you mentioned it, because yeah, not only is it going to affect whether they break or not, but it's going to affect their accuracy as well if they're not focusing on the sliders as much as they should be. So it's gonna I think this is a pick that very much favors consistency as well as mental fortitude. As long as you're constantly focusing on what's going on, you should be good. And we're gonna be seeing the crazy spinner. Doomy's going gamer mode right now, dude. Holy moly. Doomy's going gamer mode on that spinner. 40k. But Pain's thing isn't showing for me right now, which is really weird. So it might be a remake, it might be a client issue. But we'll commentate like it's not, because you never know.
We've seen problems like this happen before in the tournament. He's probably still playing, it's just the tournament client hasn't really caught up, so.
So we got the 3v4 situation. Oh, no, never mind. Oh, we're back in it. We're back in it. We're gaming. All right, let's go. So we can actually commentate now. It's kind of difficult when the first player is the one who disconnects because you don't even hear the music, so it's super hard to like be like, oh, what is this part of the map again? But we're in it. We're in the first chorus, and it's looking like small favor for Australia. Machine gonna be breaking there. Ugadi is how it's pronounced apparently. Gonna be breaking, and Doomy breaking as well. Very uncharacteristic of him. Grand Senpai the only FC compared to 2 on the team of Argentina. Lexalia, the OBC winner, and Payne both doing a really good job right now at holding their own. Especially Lexalia with that accuracy. Very amazing job so far. I'd say Lexalia and Ugadi are definitely like the 2 players to look out for right now. Wait, Ugadi broke. Oh wait, no, Grand Senpai was the one holding the combo. Oopsies.
Unfortunately, now Australia actually doesn't have any full combos right now versus Argentina's 2 on Lexalia and Payne, like you mentioned before. It's not looking too good for Australia.
Yeah, it's looking not that great, especially this far into the map. Australia is going to see that they're so far behind that they have no FCs. They're going to see Argentina has 2. And Argentina is going to see that same exact thing. So it can really sway mentality. It can really help nerves get flushed, or it can really bring nerves on you. Because now, the one thing that's probably on Doomy and Ugadi's mind is, hey, if I break, it's not good. It's actually probably over if I break. But right now, it's looking like Argentina is going to be taking a point. Very solid work coming up from them right now. And Lexalia, nothing short of amazing holding this accuracy right now. Doing a very good job. Payne shortly behind in accuracy, but holding the combo, doing a really good job at that. And then Fast to Frizu, after that first break, unfortunate break at the start, going to be doing a reverse choke and holding his own with good accuracy at that as well. And it's, yeah, a very convincing second point for both teams, like on each side. Australia got a pretty convincing point the first time, getting it by 700k. Argentina getting this by 600k. So two very big, like, I body you, you body me kind of situations going on right here, which is definitely the most exciting match to watch. It's very exciting to see, like, close matches, but what's even more exciting is to see a team be like, hey, we're going to bop you on this, and then the other team be like, all right, we're going to bop you on this then. That back and forth is very exciting. But crazy play from Lexalia, actually popping off right there, 2 times 100s. Doing a really good job at holding the fort down right there.
Very unfortunate scores actually coming from Australia with those slider breaks. It's really such a crushing feeling to get a reverse chokes, especially when you break early on the map and you just can't do anything about it. It can be really frustrating. It can really damage your mentality for the future of the tournament. But like I said in the previously, these players are really experienced in tournaments. They probably know how to really keep themselves together.
Yeah, I agree with you there 100%. And we were just talking about that actually when right before the alt map even started. We were like, the big thing to watch out for isn't even the alt patterns, it's the sliders. You hyper focus on the alt patterns so much that you don't take into account the sliders. And we saw it on Australia's side. There's 0 FCs but 3 S's. It was all sliders. That's all slider breaks right there. Very unfortunate, but that's going to be a point to Argentina. Not unfortunate for them in the slightest.
Very interesting. Each team is actually each team's points has actually been on each other's picks. Argentina won Australia's, and Australia actually won Argentina.
That's the best kind of match to watch. Ooh, and differences. I really like this song. I really like mirrors mapping in general, so I'm very biased towards this map. I love it. Very standard. Go ahead.
Oh, my bad. Mir really does a really good job in really bringing something new to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like the patterns in this map, especially with the triples into its triangles, are just really, you don't really see that sort of mapping in any other.
Yeah, I agree with you. Very consistency-based pick. Very I feel like it's almost impossible to not have so many consistency picks in group stages, because it's like we have such a diverse tournament of players here that it's like, and we have so many rounds to go through that it's like group stages is the easiest of the map pools. It's without a doubt, like the easiest on the map was the full combo. So it all comes down to consistency, like without a doubt. It's like these maps to a lot of players, like to like top 100 players, aren't that hard. But consistently seeing is a completely different story. And we're going to be going into the third page of our story with this third pick coming out from Argentina. So what do you think is going to happen here, Beast? I know kind of weird to put you on the spot right at the start of the map, but...
Well, something interesting is that Australia's team members are mainly hidden double time players or just DT players in general. So I'm honestly not really too sure how Australia is really going to perform on this. I mean, Argentina has probably seen this actually just by looking at their roster. They might be able to find a hole in their in their skill sets.
Ooh, I thought I typed with Mike muted. Sorry about that. I 100% agree with you there. It's definitely showing that Argentina did their research on this pick. And right now it's just kind of standard, like no sort of breaks except for the faster freezy break. But it was super early on, so it's like it's not a huge deal when you think about it. Sure, it's a break, but it's like look at how small the difference is. 100k, that's easily make upable if a player from Australia misses. But I know you were mentioning.
Oh, my bad.
No, don't worry about it.
Like you mentioned, this is a consistency pick. What really matters is your performance over the long term for the entire map, right? As both teams are getting into the halfway point of the map, things are starting to ramp up, and this is really going to pressure both teams to really perform at their top, because any mistake now could really cost either team the point.
And speaking of mistakes, like you're mentioning, this is probably like the place to make mistakes on the map. After this, it's kind of just standard stuff. And mistakes we talk about, Kata makes one and so does Doomy. But it's looking like it's still going to be in Australia's favor because of that unfortunate break from Kata from Argentina.
In terms of... Oh, my bad. We always tend to talk over each other.
We waited a solid 5 seconds too, goodness. But yeah, that's going to be the second flank going to Australia. Unfortunate break from Kata. If he didn't see that, that actually would have been a good point for Australia. Pretty close one. All the other past maps that we've seen have been... The past two that we've seen have been super like one way or the other kind of situations. But that was a lot closer. All S ranks, unfortunate slider breaks coming from Fasto, Kata, and Doomy. But solid work. All right.
Machine actually coming in with a 1-100 on that map, full combo, which is insane.
Yeah, Machine really showed up well. Machine, for those who don't know, a very up-and-coming tournament player. We haven't seen that much of him in the past, but he's super good. Like, when he shows up to his maximum potential. But yeah, it's going to be another situation like you mentioned earlier, winning on each other's picks. It just keeps happening.
I have a feeling this is going to be a pretty close match now.
Yeah, and a gimmicky pick going to be coming out from the side of Australia. It's going to be Pendulum Crush. And I have a strong belief of whoever picks this is ready. Anyone who picks this in a World Cup has practiced this heavily, without a doubt in my mind. If you have the gumption to pick this map, you are ready to play it. So we'll see how Argentina fares in this map. But if it's going the way we've been seeing recently, Argentina might take a second Australia map, and it's just gonna go back and forth like that.
Pendulum, though, being the AR8 hidden pick of this map pool, normally you would take a look at the map. If you were to just play with no mod, it would just be a standard map. But what really brings the difficulty to this map in specific is towards the end, where it has multiple linear patterns that is very easy to break on if you're not careful. Which is, like you said, why players need to spend a lot of time practicing the map to make sure that doesn't happen. Because a break on those linear patterns can happen so easily, especially in a tournament setting where the stakes are so high.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there, and I'm kind of surprised we're not seeing Argentina sub in Serena. Serena, a very old player. I feel like definitely would be very comfortable with reading Approach Rate 8. Maybe they're not the greatest at Hidden. I did see a couple of Hidden in their top plays, so I'm kind of confused. But, you know, you don't know everything. Maybe all four of the players in Argentina are super comfortable with this, and they plan to pick this map anyways. We'll be finding out, but right now we're just going right into it. And Beast, what do you think going to be the outcome of this. I personally think that Australia is going to take it simply based on the fact that they picked it. They have a lot of good tournament players, and well, yeah, they picked it. Like it's like I feel like the sheer fact that they picked it is like enough to convince me. That sounds silly, but
Well, it's one of those things where confidence really plays like a huge role into it. Like, right, you would see that since Australia picked it, they would perform well on it. But what really shows on a pick like this is that the entire team who's agreed to this pick are really confident on this map. That they know that yes, they'll probably perform at their best. That, despite me saying that Jordan actually breaks pretty early on,
but 2 breaks from the side of Argentina definitely offsets that.
Also, it's pretty early on the map, alright? It's really hard to tell. Like I said, the hard part of this map really comes towards the end with the linear pattern, so...
Yeah, but the hard part of the map's not going to matter if we see what we've been seeing from Argentina right now. Fast Freeze are going to be seeing a break, and that's going to be only 1 FC left from Lubran on the side for Argentina compared to the 3 on Australia. And going into this first quarter of the map, even though the scores are kind of close right now, it's not looking the greatest for them.
Especially in the long term, as the 4 FCs on, or 3 FCs on Australia are really going to start kicking in, gaining them that point lead.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you there. The lead definitely ramps up later on in the map. Fast Freeze are going to be finding out of the break, as is Kata. And this is looking like a very, very convincing, disgusting brutality coming from Australia right now. Going into the second chorus, they'd have to extremely mess up in order to throw this away. I mean, they have such a strong lead. They've only seen 1 break from Jordan, and even after that, Jordan's still holding his combo, only 60 behind. Fast Freeze is going to be fighting another miss. It's only 2 near full combos from the side of Argentina, and 4, well, now 2 from Australia. I was about to say 4 from Australia, and there it is. You have your 2 mess ups, and you have Lubran with a full combo. Is this comebackable? Potentially. We still have another potentially 2 mil left of score from all 4 players of each side. So is it comebackable? Yes, but it's going to be extremely hard, especially since Grand is holding such good accuracy and Jordan has that near full combo right now.
We can't forget about Lubran on the Argentina side, also having really good accuracy with a full combo as well. It's like Lubran and Grand Senpai are actually going neck and neck.
And yeah, it's Lubran and Grand right now just full comboing. But as we go into this last section of the map, 200k for each player to potentially be able to be gotten, so this comeback is actually not doable unless a member from Australia fails, unfortunately for them. That's going to be Australia winning one of their picks. And with that last stream, yep, that'll do it. Australia going to be taking a 3rd point from Argentina right here. Very solid work, very solid knowledge of the map. You could definitely see it. I know Machine did see an unfortunate miss, but look at that accuracy, ladies and gentlemen. If he did not miss, that would have been a crazy good play. He was SSing past the first chorus. Very, very solid job. Unfortunately, kind of swept under the rug by that miss, but solid work from Australia. Going to be winning their pick, and Argentina's going to be doing the next pick. What do you think Argentina's got a pick here, Ed, or Beast?
Well, Argentina, assuming that they've done the research, since they know that Australia is really strong in terms of DT, I can't imagine them picking a DT map. I feel like that they would dig themselves their own grave if they were to do that. So I would assume that, or I would at least like to see them trying to go for one of the free mod picks, like Breasts or Kindly Leave the Premises. That would be a very interesting pick to see from Argentina, especially since the amount of diversity that you can really come with the map. Because in terms of difficulty, either modification that you select for that map is really brings its own difficulties. It requires its own separate skill sets. Like Hidden for that map brings in 220 BPM high note density patterns, which are very difficult to read. But if you were to throw on Hard Rock, you now have to deal with the jumps, which are brutal.
I agree with you there. I honestly think that we're going to be seeing Harlequin, because a lot of Argentina, as we see from Australia's ban, is good at Hard Rock. They're good at the consistency kind of Hard Rock stuff. They're good at specifically getting good accuracy on streams in Hard Rock maps. So I feel like Harlequin is the definite pick here. I mean, the only thing that would shy them away is the consistency. But if you think about it, all it takes is for them to lose one more pick, and there's the potential for them to not be able to pick anything more. So there's no like psychology into it of waiting for the other person to pick something, and we're going to be seeing Sola, actually. So, contrary to what this song is, a lot of people, including myself, got tricked earlier, thinking this was the streamy Sola, but no, this is the newer one. So, not a streamy map, but honestly, I could see why they picked this. Beast, do you want to talk about this map a little bit?
Well, sure. Sola tends to be one of those maps that's typically very straightforward. If I were to put myself into Argentina's perspective, I feel like since they're down at such a huge lead, they're already down by 2 points. They really want to go with something that's just like standard, more of a safe pick. So with Sola being such a standard map, it kind of makes sense for them. If they really have the consistency and the confidence with a map like this, then they could really steal away the point. Even if most of the players full combo, if they really have that confidence advantage, they could really pull it through.
I 100% agree with you here. I'm just kind of perplexed on how the approach rate change is going to work out. We saw 2 hidden picks in a row. The last one we just saw being an AR8, and this one obviously 9.2. Quite the jump, especially for players who aren't able to have like such a diverse like reading skill set. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a couple of misreads potentially in here for players like that who struggle to jump from one AR to the other.
If we are going to see any difficulty with that, I'm sure the players will get used to it, especially in the beginning of the map. It normally doesn't take too long to get used to a new approach rate, especially at when the skill ceiling is as high as this, or the skill levels. I mean, this is OWC. You got the best players from each country performing in here, so.
Very true. Very standard start as well, coming from both sides. Just kind of holding their own in terms of accuracy. Australia slightly trailing the lead here. No breaks yet. Very surprising. This is a very tricky section. If you don't actually like kind of keep a strong mindset of how many times you need to click in an area for this, because sometimes it's 4 and sometimes it's 3. You'll see if you pay close attention. It's very tricky.
Coming into the first chorus, no players on each team breaking. Both teams are holding up on their own,
except for
pretty well. Ouch! Right as I say that too.
How does commentator's curse feel, buddy? It really doesn't feel good, does it?
Yeah.
Welcome to commentating. But yeah, going into this,
break.
It's just looking really good for Australia right now, especially with that break from Pain and the accuracy lead. It's just they're all doing a really good job right now. 99.7 coming from Doomy right there, and we are going to be seeing a little bit of streams there, but that's about all you really see from them. It's just looking super strong for Australia right now, and there's just no sort of faltering from their team. Very unfortunate for Argentina that Pain isn't showing up as well as, you know, he should be for their team to win this, because we could have seen a really close match on a very difficult map pick in this pool right here. Like, this is nothing short of not a tech hidden map, but definitely more technical than the other hidden map in my opinion. But that's going to be it. That's going to be Argentina losing their hidden pick right there by 600k. And Australia is going to be up 4-1. Doomy getting a crazy play right there, 2 100s. Doing a really good job on the streams, especially. Like, the fact that we see a quad FC on that map is genuinely surprising to me. And the secondary fact of that there was only one person who broke in that map, well, I mean, if you don't count the Faster Frizu not getting 965, only one person who broke on that map, that's even crazier. Like, that's not an easy map. That's not an easy map to hold your nerve control on, and it's not an easy map to just, like, kind of adapt from AR8 hidden to. So very good job from both teams. I know it's very unfortunate that Pain didn't really keep his composure fully, but it happens. It's a very big tournament. It's the biggest OSU tournament, and there's thousands of people watching it. So it's kind of easy to let nerves take over. I'm not sure if that's exactly what happened, but he didn't full combo, which is unfortunate, but they can still easily come back from this. I have faith. It just really depends on what they get picked on next. Like I said, Australia has complete control here at the very worst at going into tiebreaker. And Argentina has, at most, 2 picks that they can pick left. Actually, no, 1. My apologies. I misspoke. They have 1 pick that they can pick left. So, Beast, if you're Australia here, what are you going to do with this amount of control? What are you going to pick? What's like the safest pick?
Well, if I were to put myself into Australia's point of view, honestly, I myself would probably go for a double time pick because I feel like my team would be the strongest on that. But unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be the case. Australia picking Harlequin, a Hard Rock map.
I'm very surprised. Maybe they're picking it to spite me, or maybe I'm just wrong on the intel of Australia, but I definitely thought of all the maps in this pool, this is the one that Argentina would excel at the most. Well, except for Clock Strikes, which is another Hard Rock map. I think Argentina is very, very strong at Hard Rock picks, specifically ones that have streams or are very long. They seem to have very good nerve control on Hard Rock. Hard Rock, honestly, for those who don't have as much tournament experience as players like these, Hard Rock, not the most difficult thing in the world. You would think with nerves, Hard Rock is very difficult to, overcome in tournaments. But if you can play Hard Rock, the adrenaline you get from playing in tournaments can actually assist you in Hard Rock, and Hard Rock picks become more of an accuracy battle more than who breaks kind of situation.
I agree with that. Most players tend to think, unless the Hard Rock picks are very, very small circles, mostly a sort of adrenaline can actually help you, like you said. But in a map like this, it's more of a typical Hard Rock pick. It's just normal, I believe, CS5 or something like that. Not too out of the ordinary in terms of a Hard Rock pick, but this pick specifically for Harlequin does feature a couple of 1/3 sections, which could throw off some of the players if they're not prepared for this.
That's true. That actually completely scraped my mind. The BPM changes could definitely have a player get an unfortunate miss. It's towards the easier part of the map, so if we do see it, it'll be a bit uncharacteristic, but it could definitely affect one of the teams. Specifically Argentina, we've been seeing have a little bit of issues with nerves on trickier maps. And this isn't the trickiest map in the world, but that part itself is definitely something that could catch somebody off guard. I mean, not off guard, but you know what I mean. You could find an unfortunate break from it. But right now, kind of standard work. Accuracy heavily favoring Australia, actually.
Lubren, in specifically, just struggling to maintain the accuracy, dropping again on his dropping down to 8. Not looking too good for him.
This is where you see players do or die. It's like the situation where it's like if you ruin one map, the match is over, can really make or break someone, because it can make them turn on that third eye or it can make them turn off their other two. It really depends on the kind of player and the kind of mindset that you have. But right now, it's just looking like Lubren having unfortunate findings with this accuracy, as are the rest of the team, completely honestly. Like, the only 2 teammates that have good accuracy in this whole match are Doomy and Bugatti. But that alone is, like, giving them a 100k, like, increase. And you were mentioning... I know Lubren just broke, unfortunate. You were mentioning the BPM change. All players actually hit that. But going back to that match going on right now, Lubren going to be finding a break, and that's going to be huge going into this chorus.
That might actually just seal their fate. Unless something major happens here on Australia's side, that's just a huge disadvantage from Argentina.
Yeah, it's just looking very dire for Argentina right now, but as I say that, Blobby's going to be finding another miss, and if another teammate from Australia misses right here, that could be a doable situation for Argentina. But it's not looking like it. We're getting into the slow part of the map. This is free combo, and we're getting into the last, like, 100k. They're ahead by 300k. If you do the math, it's impossible, and just like math, Australia's win calculated to 5-1 right now, and that is going to be it. Your prediction was actually correct, 5-1.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Look at me.
Very solid work coming out, particularly in the fields of Doomy and Ugati, getting 98.5 and 98.7. S ranks right there. Very solid work from the other 3 members of Argentina's team that didn't break as well, but their accuracy just wasn't the greatest, so it made the gap very, very huge. And that's going to be it. Australia is going to be taking that first match. Not map. That'd be crazy if that was counted as one map or 1 point. So we have one match coming up in me and V